it's like Monopoly. I always been good at Monopoly. I always understood, like it's pretty much like a precursor for how we supposed to move around. We get color fiat money, we get rules and regulations, stay out of jail, keep making it around to your birthday, skip go, get a little bit of money for your birthday, get some real estate, get you, and stay off other people's shit so you stay out of trouble.
Right. What up, though, Black Fridays family? Welcome back to another installment of the Black Fridays podcast. This is a very special episode for a lot of reasons. And when I say I got family in the building today, I really mean like when I was outside running around on Schoolcraft Greenfield in Detroit in the neighborhood, this was the guy that I was outside with. Somebody who has always been extremely intelligent, somebody who I've always been able to share a similar business mind to, which has always been awesome. Love talking business to this brother, love seeing his journey and the things that he's been able to build. He is a wealth and business management coach. He is a CEO. He is the official trust fund baby, DJ Bey. What's going on, my brother?
What up, though, bro? I most definitely appreciate the introduction. You already know.
Absolutely.
We've been locked in since terrible days. We was getting in trouble for taking random trips to McDonald's.
Bro, I swear to God, I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that.
On the record, Deshaun, I still haven't forgave you for snitching on me for that.
Me neither. Me neither. Could you imagine going after that long day, because it took us forever to get there and back. You go to the crib and you think like, man, I done had a successful day. I done got my McDonald's and I hung out with my people. Bro, it's all good.
How many miles did we ride just to go get some poison?
On bikes and on foot, because everybody didn't have a way back. And I would love for you to be able to tell the people what it is that you do with your brand, Trust Fund Baby. You're also a podcast host. You have the Trust Fund Baby podcast, and you have two podcasts because you're also a co-host on another show, and then you run your business. So if you could just introduce yourself to the folks, let them know what you're doing and what you all about.
Peace, everyone. I am DJ Bey, affectionately known as Trust Fund Baby on IG, official Trust Fund Baby. I have over 15 years of experience teaching financial literacy and contract law, and I help people to integrate automations and scale business companies, really put you in a position to where you can get the money that can be life-changing. And also I deal in asset protection. Main reason for the name Trust Fund Baby, I teach about trust and financial literacy, asset protection. So if it's about money, I'm about it. And also he could be a testimony to that because we had our first economics class back in 6th grade. So ever since then, I already knew what supply and demand was. It stuck with me, and I understood these was the principles in order to making money. So that's what I pretty much surrounded my education around, and I've been able to help people. And at least I've been doing it for 15 years, but actually doing it publicly at least 10 years now. So I've been able to help hundreds, possibly thousands of people at this point, change their wealth dynamic and also be able to, change their cash flow system so that they can actually do things that they want to do in their life.
So let me ask you this, because you've always been, like I said, a very intellectual person, thoughtful, and always doing research about certain things. And because similar to myself, a lot of things can interest you, but what made you want to lock in on this particular thing in terms of wealth management, finances, helping people build that economic system for themselves to put themselves in a better space? Why go that route versus, a lot of other things that you might have been interested in?
The craziest thing, bro, one thing that had triggered it, and you never know what to spark that light. For me, it was a damn Family Guy episode. It was a Family Guy episode. It was the MC Hammer episode, and he was like, dun dun dun, can't touch this, and he had the tanks and stuff. It was technically an episode about sovereignty. And I had told my cousin, who was doing most of my tattoos at the time, my cousin Marcus, I had said some statement to him. He was like, you need to talk to my dad. And then from there, I'm 18 at the time. I'm still in school and college and everything. And he was like, you need to go talk to my pops. I had one conversation with Uncle Roy. Roy, he sent me a box full of documents and information. And I just sat there and I read. Mama still got the same stuff in trash bags to this day, all the old stuff I read. And when I was able to have an understanding of rules and regulations of the system. So it's like Monopoly. I always been good at Monopoly. I always understood, you know, like it's pretty much like a precursor for how we supposed to move around. We get color fiat money, we get rules and regulations, you know, stay out of jail, keep making it around to your birthday, skip go, you know, get a little bit of money for your birthday, get some real estate, get you, and you know, stay off other people's shit so you stay out of trouble.
Right.
So Monopoly and that component, it helped me to realize, you know, like this is how we supposed to kind of live to an extent. So I'm like, how can I do this? And then by me understanding contract law, rules and regulations, it really got to the point where I'm like, this is a necessary component in order for me to change my life. And then once I seen how I could do it for myself, I started showing other people like, this is a guaranteed process because I didn't make this up. I studied other patterns for success, and this helped me to be able to change my life. And it's like, most people think about Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. Are you familiar?
Yep.
Basic mindset transition when you're getting into wealth. Now, when you start making money, that is the lower tier of education. Then you start getting into Dr. Edward Thorpe. You're familiar with the movie 21, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's based off of him. He wrote the book, How a Man for All Markets. That's his most recent one. How to Beat the Dealer. How to Beat the Market. And he was very, very bright to the point where he was counting cards so well, he's banned from casinos. So he created a system in order for people to be able to have an understanding for the stock market. And just by utilizing this, you understand this can be an avenue or a cash flow system. And this great book, but this is every wealth advisor reads that book. So you understand it's even tiers to your financial education.
Right.
So it's just being, like how you said, being thoughtful and diligent and always understanding I don't know everything, consistently reading, looking into stuff and paying attention, because we're in an ever-changing world. And I say this all the time. As far as business models, like we could look at rappers, great examples to look at that people who have remained relevant, 50 Cent and Snoop Dogg. They were out when we were young. Even Snoop was out before then.
And they still relevant to today.
Super relevant because they learned how to adjust with what's coming in today and the future.
Right.
And I feel like that was one of the most important things that I picked up in my education was always be flexible. Understand that if you have this one mindset now, have a scientific mindset and understand that things are susceptible to change, especially knowing that 1 times 1 not 1. I'm just saying. Because like everybody thought that, and then Terrence Howard, homie, dropped with Joe Rogan podcast. He changes the dynamic of our whole mindset and how we think right now. Just because it doesn't mean that he's necessarily right, but it doesn't mean that he's wrong either. In my mind, he's right, but that's just me.
It's the aspect of, like you said, challenging the norm.
I love when people challenge the norm because the norm is dumb here. It is this. Why don't we got flying cars, bro? I'm still mad about it to this day. That's why I feel like what Terrence Howard has introduced to the world, it can be so groundbreaking that we can transition into something like Jetson style. Because somebody doing bad math, bro. We should have why don't we have endless energy? Tesla did it.
Right.
Or are you just hiding it because you like making us pay for power?
Hey, we can go down that rabbit hole for a minute.
Because I'm tired of DTE and all of them. I got multiple properties, bro.
Man, come on. I went on a rant about DTE in one of my other episodes. I ain't gonna start on them. But with that said, giving us your background and what made you want to lock in on the finances as a whole.
And you were there with me. Your upbringing has a lot to do with who you are today. You are some of your decision making. I took that economics class super serious. Yeah. I got introduced to that as a child. And even before I came back to the D, I got introduced to the stock market in 2nd grade because they was teaching me on Apple computers how to trade. So always have an understanding, like I pretty much went to private school most of the time, except for when I was in the D for them few years. So having an understanding that this is what wealthy people teach their children, right? Versus I go to DPS. Thank God we had a good DPS school because everybody did not get what we got. You know how many people I asked, when did you get introduced to economics? High school, bro. Yeah. What good is that to you if you already got to touch money all the way up until then? Right. We were buying stuff at that time. Yeah. And we understood what we were doing. Enough to understood we got finessed a couple times. Like, this not right. Yeah.
I want to introduce you. So we're gonna continue on that, but I want to introduce you to my favorite part of Black Fridays, which is Freestyle Fridays. So.
Oh shit!
It's just a random assortment of questions. They all about you, so you shake it across.
I thought you wanted me to drop some bars.
I mean, unless you want to, that's up to you. But
No,
yeah,
I don't.
okay.
I know I look like a rapper, but I'm a nerd. I watch anime, homie.
All right, bet. So, first question: You're a gamer. We grew up playing games.
Yeah.
What would you say is, if you had to come up with a top 5 video game list of all time?
That's real. Halo was detrimental.
That changed the game.
Yeah,
That changed the game.
Even to the point where I love the series, I love the remake, and it made me feel nostalgic. And because it's great when they bring certain things back. Like I feel like we're a super spoiled generation. We watch everything that we seen when we were younger come back to life, whether it be Sonic, Halo, all of this stuff. I'm big on fighting. I 30 black belt, world record in brick breaking. And I'm the world's fastest brick breaker for 10 bricks since 2014. So one of my favorite fighting games is, I love Mortal Kombat. I love Dead or Alive from Xbox, but Tekken is it.
That's it.
Every way through. Yeah. Because the fluidity and between Law and Hwoarang, and just the kicks, I love it. So we got Halo. We got Tekken. Call of Duty never done me wrong.
Okay.
I haven't liked every version be like the old Modern Warfares, but when it comes to Black Ops and stuff,
consistent. Yeah.
It's even when you know what they dropping for Black Ops 6 with the dynamic movement, I love when people consistently work and perfect their craft and they pay attention to what their end user is asking for, and that will be a brand that I'm willing to support. And hell, I just bought my son 2 Call of Duty games. He got Black Ops before I got it. Yeah. So with us being in the streaming industry now, we're going to make sure that we going to leverage this and get our money back. And Call of Duty is one of the top brands out right now, and rightfully so. People be trying to get me play Apex. I'm like, that's the broke Call of Duty, bro. I don't want to do it. I'm like, I'm good.
I want to play with you normies.
Oh, man. What was really big as well? So racing games back in the day, between Midnight Club Dub Edition, because that was culture right there,
bruh. That culture was culture at its finest. That was culture, at its finest, bro. That's why I love the song 24s to this day,
bro. What I'm telling you, it's so memorable. And then, oh man, I love the Final Fantasy games and stuff, but that's not really that didn't resonate like that with me. I would have to go with Def Jam Vendetta. Def Jam Vendetta.
You done dropped some classics.
They stuck in my mind because they were that good at that time. Yeah. And if they were to do remakes, I for sure would support. Hell, I might say I like plenty of games, even from Fable. And we played the sports games. I've never been I told you last time I played a damn football game was 2K with goddamn Donovan McNabb on it. Yeah. I got FIFA, but it's just what I'm most comfortable with is fast-paced things that make you think and it make your nerve systems respond. So I play a lot of fast-paced games. So it's either going to be fighting games or shooting games. Okay. And I do enjoy the racing. And excuse me, but great honorable mention. You can't forget Grand Theft Auto. What they doing? Absolutely. What they doing right now? Absolutely. And then that was. You remember how much of a fight it was to let our parents let us get Grand Theft Auto when they found out about that shit? Yeah, when they knew what was really going on. What the what? They had to really evaluate, damn, is he really mature enough for this? And bro, now you thinking about it, I didn't let my son, he was at my house, and he was like, Dad, can I get Grand Theft Auto? I'm like, I was like, you should probably ask your mom. I was like, you know what? Don't ask your mom. Yeah. Don't ask your mom. I'm like, it's up to you. Yeah. I'm like, that's up to your discretion. But I'm gonna let you know it's a graphic game, bro. Right? But correct. I'm like, he play Call of Duty, so and he a super advanced young man. So you just be like, I did it. How much different is this from when I did it? Yeah, and it's not much different. Right. So, that's my guy. Yeah. So I want to ask you, if you had to start all over in terms of your businesses and stuff that you do with $100, you had $100 and you had to make some moves, what's the first thing that you're gonna do with that 100 to
get the snowball effect rolling.
Hey, the crazy thing is sometimes days feel like that. You be like, damn. No, but don't get it twisted. Like I get money, but I also put myself on allowances. I be like, this is all you got today.
Yeah.
Because like you've been tripping. I told you I came in the house at 6 a.m. the other night. I was tripping.
And neither one of both of us cheap. We don't like spending money for real.
Oh
so
my
when
God.
you feel like you down to yo,
I'm counting every dollar, every
you like I ain't gotta eat right now.
Oh, bro, I'm like, we good on one a day tomorrow.
Yeah.
You vegan anyway, bro. Go do some push-ups. You got it.
Take a nap. You'll be okay.
Exactly what I was about to say. Go to sleep. You ain't hungry.
Yeah, right. It's all in your head.
Bro, that where we from. That's what shit your mama tell you. Take a nap. You not hungry.
Right. It's all in your head. You tripping.
Oh my God. But okay. If I had $1 and you know, that's what we call it back home. If I had $1 and I needed to bounce back, whew, the way society has changed today, you know, in 2024, it's completely different than what I would have said like 7 years ago. Because right now, social media is such a part of what it is that you do. If anything, I would utilize the free tools that I have, such as social media. And what I would do is I would provide free services and I would pay. I would just, only thing that money would go to, that $100, I would look for the cheapest contractors I could find on Fiverr or Freelancer in order to make sure that my marketing and my video editing was as good. And I'm going to push that video as much as I can. I'm going to bounce around because my business partner, Parker, he's great for this because this is how he got the J. Cole video. You provide something free. You got to do it. You got to do it. Because I, even still to this day, out of the kindness of my heart, I still provide free services. But when your brand isn't known or if you're starting over from scratch, you have to be able to get that level of exposure. So what I would do is I would make sure that my brand presence is proper as far as logo. You go look at my social media, it don't matter how many followers I got, but it look clean. You can understand what I'm doing. Website, I don't care if I got to go do a GoDaddy build for free. I'm going to have something there. So I'll pay for the domain. I'll probably be able to get the domain like $12. So we're gonna do real math. So we got the domain. We're gonna get the build out for free. Probably pay $25 for a logo. I got a good Colombian logo dude. He be hooking me up.
Right.
So right there, we only like at $36. So we still rocking. So that give me enough for me to pay for. I could probably find a cheap editor on freelance, or either I'm gonna have to take the time out to do it, whatever video myself. And then outside of that, I'll possibly use the last of it to push to do a boost on social media.
Okay. Just
so that I can get exposure to people who I don't have. But I have to make sure that the content is something that people need and it look fire.
Love it. That's the game plan right there. So I hope y'all was taking notes. By matter of fact, rewind that and then just take that step by step and then go out there and initiate that. For people who be scared to get started, they might have a little pocket change, but they be scared to, I don't know what to do. I got to spend $5,000 to get a logo on business. Nah, you ain't got to do all that.
Bro, I get them for $25, but I actually, it's one thing that I teach in my company. It's called the 10-10 algorithm. So we make a list of 10 things that you like/love to do. And what we'll do is we'll run the most profitable against the most liked.
Okay.
And then we'll see also what's in your personal inventory for you to be able to start up at home at what is, you know, like most cost effective for you.
Fire.
So we'll start off with the first 3 and then we'll use those 3 in order to segue into the other 7. So you don't give up on a dream, you just stair step into it. You feel me?
Yep. Fire. Last but not least, you said that you're a nerd at heart, so I want to know what's your favorite nerdy thing to do.
Whew, outside of watching anime, like I geek out on science a lot.
Okay.
Like between like conspiracy theory stuff, whether if it's flat earth concepts, Neil deGrasse Tyson possibly being an agent because he ain't telling the truth sometimes. It's just like, bro, that man be killing me. Bro, it's like one of the greatest things that I'm thankful for is that I do have, you know, a thirst to consistently learn and, you know, like expand my mindset. So one of the most interesting things that I've come across is like most of these conspiracy theories, because they're not conspiracy theories. A lot of these things have some truth to it, whether it be the science behind, and a lot of it relates to science.
Yeah.
Because science is just nothing more than observation of the world around us. So whether if it's Nikola Tesla, the world possibly being flat, because there's multiple maps that were established before the 1500s that said so. The United Nations doing these things, and then understanding that the government may be on BS, understanding why this war is happening or this war is happening, understanding that even the Rothschilds funded the Vatican back in the day, and they gave them like 40 M's, and that was the cause for them to even be able to be their own country, then become their own government, then become their own bank. So it's just, I like to know why things happen.
Right.
So that's probably the most nerdiest part about me. Like, I like to geek. Like, you know how it just be people who always got them little random facts about life? That's me.
Yeah,
That's me.
Yeah, for sure. No, well, you already know that. I'm the same way. I will pull out some facts about anything, and people like, how you know that? It's like, hey man, I be in tune. I like what I like.
And then if you like, maybe it's a sad thing, because things that resonate with us, we hold on to it.
Yeah.
Like, we remember it well.
Right. For sure. Well, you successfully passed Freestyle Friday, so congratulations on that. And I wanted to go into talking more about the podcast and the shows that you're a part of, because we're here at the Podcast Summit, and so we got a chance to pull up. This is my first time here. You came last year, and so I'm wondering what your experience was at the event last year, and then also kind of like what you're expecting or what you're hoping to get out of being here this time.
Last year, shout out to David Shan, shout out to Donnie.
Absolutely.
You know, Social Proof. I have loved the growth. I've watched you all grow over the years, and just how willing you are in order to share the platform with other people. Even like, hell, like my man's Brendan Boyd, he's speaking this time, and you know, Jonathan, this is his second year's Finesse from Finessers Only Club. So I'm fortunate enough to know people on the panel and things like that, and also watching Brendan be in a position, because Brendan didn't speak last year, and this year he's speaking. So watching people who I'm close to be in a position to be on stage, I'm here to support them as well. But I thought it was so good, I came back this time, and I have a vending table in order to be able to promote what it is that we're doing. And I learned a lot, but I also seeing gaps in other people's business model. So understanding that I have something that I can provide to all of these podcasters. They all have terrible business structure. All these people owe hella taxes. You know, like you telling me you got a 6-7 figure podcast, and you about to pay a third of that to the IRS, right? Right. Because you don't know how to structure your business. So I seen a business opportunity as well. But for me, it was a great networking opportunity. I seen a lot of people came out, show love, and then this is also David Shan's backyard. Right. So the turnout here is gonna be crazy. Like, you just seen some of the people we were talking to, and this is the first day. Yeah. And I honestly,
and we coming from different places, they came from different places. Like, nobody came from the same place. At least the ones we talked to so far.
Even I love Miami, but I do believe this is a much better venue for what it is, just because it seems like it's more accommodating than what it was last year. And this place is big, and like, we literally can just walk downstairs, and it's way closer. You don't got to walk across the other side of the hotel. Everything is just boom, boom, boom in one section. Right. So I know that they worked very hard to make sure that they were able to correct a lot of things that they didn't care for last year. So that's things that I'm paying attention to, because that shows signs of you paying attention to your business model and also aspects of growth. And so that's always a brand I'm willing to support. And I understand what Dave is promoting, and I'm for it. Podcasting is a growing market and a growing network, and we as melanated people should have our own voice in it. But like, even with what I'm doing, if I didn't come to the Podcast Summit last year, I wouldn't have had the idea in order to integrate streaming into my podcasting. Right. So it was, like I said, I paid that bread to come back. Yeah. Just because, like, I flew from Miami up here, and I'm thankful that you came, because, like, look at what we're doing right now. It's worthwhile, even outside of being able to go there and listen to them, because, like, look at what we're doing right here. Right. We didn't even have time to do this in the city where we from. For real. Right.
For sure. And you come here to focus on that, literally. So that's definitely a dope aspect to it. And in terms of your show, Trust Fund Baby Podcast, that is an expansion of an opportunity for you to the lessons that you've teaching and you work with people with over the years. Like you said, over 15 years of knowledge and being in that space, that's an opportunity for you to expand on that, and then also give people a lot of game for free. What would you say is kind of the you have a new season that's coming out soon, and then depending on
we dropped episodes
you
yesterday and today.
Yeah, so
I think your episode come out like today at 7.
Oh, bet. Okay, so say less. So Trust Fund Baby Podcast season 2 is out now, and then like I said, a lot of game given in season 1. But I wanted to ask, in terms of the show, is that the goal in terms of just being able to give out as much knowledge as possible through different types of conversations? Because you have solo episodes, you also have episodes with interviews, or because I'm asking because I see a lot of people utilize podcasts essentially as a marketing platform.
Yeah.
I mean, in some way, shape, or form, it's a marketing platform, whether it's money on the back end or not. Like, you're trying to market something. So I just wanted to know, like, what is kind of your approach to, I guess, the business model around the podcast?
So the craziest thing is, if you know me, like, really, like, I'm not a salesy person. And like, if you ever watched any of my stuff, you've never heard me like, I don't sell. Like, if anything, you'll probably see a ticker roll across the bottom of the screen.
You're very much I'm gonna show you, not
because if you see the value, you gonna buy into it anyway.
Right.
So the craziest thing is, like, when it comes to Trust Fund Baby, we market and we promote education, and the fact that we do it better than other people more so. Not that we have something that we want you to buy in. If you need help in a specific area, we have the system and the service. Like, if it's AI automations, trust, business scaling, you need help in funding, we have all of that stuff. We've been doing it for years. But that's not my goal. The goal is to create, like, how people have media empires. I'm creating a data set. And even to the point where there's an AI DJ. So there's an AI persona of me, and all of the information that I have made over the years, it sources that way when people want to communicate with the AI, is running off of my own IP.
Gotcha.
So really, I'm building out my, like, my trust assets, my intellectual property. And I'm just thankful that other people are willing to participate with me while I'm, like, documenting my journey more so. Because, and honestly, I don't give a damn about none of the other stuff. I want to make sure that I build out something that my children are going to be happy about, and then also something that's going to outlive me. And by me focusing on selling to people, I'm not going to get to that point. If I build it out the right way, they're just going to participate in what it is that I do. Because all of that fake salesy stuff, usually is some scams associated with it. And
I'm gonna show you making $1 million a night.
And it never lasts. So that's always been one of my main focuses, making sure you have a strong foundation and something that is built on a strong moral compass, because children gonna see this shit.
Facts.
Like, and I got boys, and I want them to understand what it is to be an upright man in this world.
And I think what's fire about that is you're documenting the journey. So it's like, forget all the business stuff, because like you said, that's not necessarily, it's a part of it, but it's not your main focus. You're able to build something sustainable for them.
And that's when, crazy thing is, I became a father. I had Carter, I was about to be 21. So he was born November and my birthday December. So right before I turned 21, Carter was coming. And I made Trust Fund Baby back in 2019. So this wasn't always my mindset. I had to grow into this because, hell, I wasn't ready to have a baby when I first had a baby. I didn't plan on having a baby till I was almost 28. That was my plan. And that was around the time Prince came. So Carter was unexpected, but I had to make mental adjustments because I got this little man I got to take care of. I got to make sure he's being properly fed, properly educated. And I want to make sure that he has something. And me knowing that I can't take directions from people or be told for shit. I know I'm not about to go get a 9 to 5, so I got to go figure something out. So the best thing I could do is get educated. And because of how well I got educated and how well I could speak, I realized that these people don't know shit about what I'm talking about. They're willing to pay me for what's in my brain. And just based off of that was able to create cash flow. And that just scaled into, because remember, it's Atum. Like, I got it tatted on me. I'm like, it's Atum. And Atum is the Allegiance to Unite Minds. And that umbrella, the academy, is what Trust Fund Baby is under. So it's always been about group economics and, teaching financial literacy and scaling. It's just, we have these sub branches. Trust Fund Baby falls underneath the media branch along with Game Face Entertainment. Because we have our data company, we have our documentation sections, our legal branch. And you think about building a conglomerate. You familiar with Citadel? Ken Griffin, wealthy ass person, bro.
Okay.
He has a business web with Citadel in the middle, and then owns this, owns this, this owns this, this owns this, and this. Almost 100 companies, bro. All working with cash flow systems. But you got to start somewhere. So when you met me, I was on my building blocks. Well, not when you met me, but when I came to you and asked you to build the first website for me,
that was the foundational level.
That was building blocks at that time, and now we here to where people know me in multiple places because of the information that I've been sharing online, which is crazy as hell. I was in the Bahamas and somebody walked up on me like, "You from Detroit?" I'm like, why? Like, we don't play that where we're from. I'm like, how do you know me?
You especially the wrong person.
I'm glad you said, bro, because I'm a naturally stern individual, rightfully, because I have military parents. But also, being from an inner city location, it'll make you like that, and you have to realize like some of us got like shell shock and PTSD because I gotta work it on it because I just snapped on. Damn, we was in South Beach and somebody was walking from the car. I was like, get the street. Homie said something. I'm like, hey, bro, this Florida, everybody got guns. I'm like, you gotta relax. But I'm like, I know that's not right. So I'm working on the Christ in me. You feel me?
So speaking. So I'm glad you bring that up because speaking of that, because of your personality, your sternness, and you don't always like to necessarily be bothered with people at different points in time. Just cause like just your that battery might run out. You're just like, I'm good. Let me get in my zone and go recharge. What made you want to turn on the camera to like start documenting all this stuff?
Bro, that's so crazy. Because remember when we was young, I wouldn't even let people hug me, bro.
Right, yeah.
Remember Kelly trying to take a picture of me, bro. I snatched her phone. I'm like, don't take no pictures of me. Bro, I used to be on tilt.
All I remember back in the day, you used to always tell me, don't touch me. That was your thing. Like,
bro,
don't touch me.
I still be on that sometimes. I be like, because you got dirty energy. You don't even wash your hands.
I don't know your hands, but don't touch me.
Bro, because people wild out. Like, I used to see it, and I was just so verbal when I was younger. I just was like, And I'm low key thankful that I was so reserved like that because you really don't know like what will attach to you or what you'll become fond to
or
when you that
coming
young.
From, right?
Yeah. So I'm thankful that I was reserved and I was to myself. I low key and for anybody who may be going through anything dark, like I'm not utilizing this as a joke or anything, but I used to be so to myself, like my grandma at one point in time, they thought I was upstairs cutting my wrist. Like I had to show them my hands,
they definitely concerned about you.
Bro, I'm like, I just be minding my business. I be reading. Bro.
Because you got kids now, they say when your kids get quiet, you got to go, something wrong.
I used to be upstairs rocking and like playing the game or whatever. And
in your zone. What's wrong with you?
Nothing. Talking about you here closing doors, but it's my room.
Yo, let me finish educating myself and reading this book.
Bro, they think you up here choking yourself,
right?
Like, in the wrong way,
right?
Oh, all right. Oh man, if y'all don't know by now, like in Detroit, like one thing that we have to learn how to do is either you have to be very good at talking trash, or you just have to have a good spirit, be a good sport about it, because somebody gonna say something crazy to you. It's guaranteed.
Always. So why did you start pressing record? Or what helped you kind of like get over that in terms of like, because you're also very reserved and private as well. So what made you kind of get over the fact that, all right, let me turn this camera on and put some stuff out there and put myself out there a little bit more.
I realized it was the only way it was gonna get done. Like, you know me as well. Like I'm a hands-on person too. It's like if I want some shit done, like I'll figure out. If I can't get it done by somebody else, I'm gonna figure out how to do it myself.
Yeah.
So it really got to the point where I realized I was the only person who knew this set of information around me, who could articulate it like this. And the responses I was getting from people around me, bro, it really, I got fed up. I just got fed up with dumb shit. And I was just like, these niggas always want to be a part of something. This is what I said verbatim. I was sitting on my couch and like, niggas always want to be a part of something. I'm gonna give them something to be a part of. Like, super arrogant, but I did it.
Yeah.
And that's what made me create create the brand. And then the only way for me to start reaching people was I had to start doing Facebook Lives and YouTubes. And the reaction, like one of my most viral videos is unlisted right now, but it's called No More Broke Moors. I pissed so many people off with that video because of the way I was talking. And then it got to a point where you realize you're helping people. And I learned that was probably one of the best feelings I've ever had in my life, was the gratification of somebody actually being like, you changed my life. You helped me do something. And I'm like, I can do this. And that was also one of the main reasons why when coming up, I never had high price points, because I wanted to always be able to help somebody. But then I realized niggas are disrespectful. So I got to charge your ass because you think you're going to play with my time. For real. Almost like it's like, don't, like they be like, yo.
That's one of the things that I've come to learn. You got to make people, that's part of the investment, the buy-in. Like, I got to know you serious about it.
You got to put some skin in the game.
Yeah.
And just like, it was, bro, and anybody who was going through that, you know, that transition part where you trying to figure out, how do I become a podcaster? How do I start getting on camera and making more content? Record yourself and watch the videos. You will hate it initially, but you learn what you're doing, what you don't like, and you make your corrections. Don't be a goofy and go live and then be pissed at what you see and what you say online. Go practice, because practice makes fact. That becomes true in reality. Perfect isn't, per definition, isn't really a real word. It's a compound word, but it makes facts. If you put the energy in it, oh my God, do you hear how well I speak? And I swear like a sailor, but that's only by choice. But it's through years of experience. And like I said, when I was first starting out, I was trying it, and then it was the weirdest shit ever, bro. Talking to yourself. Yeah. Weirdest. Oh my God.
Cause then you start talking like a newscaster, and you're like, I don't sound like that. I don't talk like that.
You seen it?
That ain't me.
And then you don't like your voice sometimes.
Right.
You be hearing the playbacks. It's just, you got to get a little bit of effort. You got to get some fucking in you, right? For real. Like, because you got to be like, these people are going to get what I'm giving, but it's still going to be quality, but you're going to accept my quality because this is what I have to give.
Right.
And that's where I had to be with it.
For sure. And before I get you up out of here, I got to touch on this because you mentioned it in the beginning in terms of us start having a economics lesson in real time where we started D&D Lawn Care, which was literally, I believe it was your first job too.
That was my real first business.
Our first job, we decided to become 11-year-old entrepreneurs and start a lawn care service in our neighborhood, knowing that there was a need in the market. There was a bunch of older people in that neighborhood specifically, and then they needed their grass cut, and it was looking horrible. And we like, we can do something about that.
We from the west side. Your grass got to be covered. We don't play that.
No, for sure. His grandma had a lawnmower, and she was like, as long as you make sure this grass cut, my grass cut, do as you please. Like it's up. And then we decided
took the rakes, everything.
Yeah,
we had getting people together.
Yes, we were definitely a full service lawn care company. And I want to know, like, what were a few of the things that you learned from that experience that you still kind of carry with you today?
Get paid up front, because people ain't it.
Facts.
You get paid up front.
Facts.
That was on the main list. I learned.
Lesson number 1.
On the main list, I learned. Oh man, and also check out the scope of work before you agree to something.
Absolutely.
Like,
absolutely.
I'm learning this at 11 and 6th grade because this old man, and thank you, old Negro, because like you taught me a life lesson. Like, and I do the same thing to people because sometimes people got to know shit not sweet. But he paid us, but he also let our dumbasses go in his backyard and mow a forest without us. We contracted and agreed to a price without us going to go look at the scope of work.
He charged it when we
already made a dub for like an $80 job, bro.
Absolutely. 60 minimum.
Bro.
60 minimum.
God, we was dog ass tired. Hoes dipping.
And mind you, we 11. We got to be in before the street lights is on.
So God.
It got to the point where I told DJ, I'm like, hey, you go ahead, because this is literally down the street from my crib. I got a little bit more leeway because I'm right down the street from the house. But that's how serious it was.
I was
on
the way to get my ass beat up trying to get this money. Like, I was dedicated. We was in it. But even like to the point where have a trusted team, you know, like build something with somebody that you really rock with, and also be reciprocal, because like everything that we did, from getting the gas money to all of the profit, that shit went straight down the middle.
Yep.
And I learned a lot of life lessons. Thankfully, we understood supply and demand, we understood marketing, we understood our demographic. But I literally used that business model as one of my core stories in order to tell people like how long I've been getting to it.
Yep.
Outside of that, I started selling burnt CD, but then that was a hustle. We had a business.
Right.
So it's just like, and also that main reason why we got that business, because our parents wasn't playing that shit. Like we wanted stuff and they wasn't. Right. Allowance wasn't a word in our households like that.
They took care of the necessities. You eating, you got clothes, you want a couple of video games here and there. Okay, we got you. Outside. Actually, no. It got to the point because we started getting older and we boys. So it's like, if you want X, Y, and Z, you want to go, cars.
Bro, we wanted to go to the skating. We lived up the street from the skating rink on the same block.
Right. You want to go skating, you got to have money.
You got to pay for that. We got to go get pizza. Oh, movies, taking girls on dates.
Yeah.
Bro, we
need money.
Fast ass young motherfuckers, bro. We out here in Star Theater just.
You need money.
I'm acting like I'm Daddy Big Bucks. I'm like, maybe there was some popcorn.
$12 popcorn, you got 20 on you.
We gonna make it stretch,
baby. Right. And you might have had to take the bus there. You have to take the bus there.
I remember when public transport was over for me, boy. I was like, I ain't doing this shit no more, goddamn. I'm like, it's over. After Cass, that shit was cooked.
But needless to say, being a boy at that point in time, and also like you start to discover your independence, and our
mothers raised men. They didn't coddle us.
Correct.
They made us go get it ourselves.
Absolutely.
And I respect it. You know, like you could be a crybaby about it, be like, my mom made me buy my first cell phone. Like you can, but like I literally can say honestly, like everything I got, even though I have a well-off family, they do good for themselves. I got my shit out from the muscle.
Right.
And I know same for you. You went to multiple schools. You've held down great careers, and even with you building your podcast, bro, we have trust. Like I'm a trust fund baby. I have inheritance and shit, but them people don't. They still living. I can't wait on that shit.
Right.
They young as hell. My mama young as hell. Right. So you got to figure something out. Like who wants to be living in their mom's house their entire life being told, especially not my mom. Oh my God. Woo, I love you, baby.
Shout out to the queen.
We still be bumping heads. Last time I talked to her, she is like, I love you with your mean ass.
Oh, man. Oh, well, where can the people find you? If they want to tap in with you, they want to be able to get these financial literacy lessons, they want to be able to support you, the podcast, the things that you do. What's your website? What's your handles? All that stuff.
Well, I'm kind of slim. I don't got no handles for real, but I got a social media. So
took me a minute.
So my website is djbey.com, and on Facebook, D_J Jones Bey, and everything else on all TikTok, YouTube, Trust Fund Baby, on Instagram, official Trust Fund Baby. But if you're looking for any of my services, be sure to tap in with me on djbey.com, and I've had the same work number for years. You can also reach out to me on 248-325-8702. 248-325-8702. I'm so real, I kept a Michigan number.
Come on now. Well, I definitely appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you stopping by the podcast, man. Like I said, I love to be able to watch your journey and see you build and actually see your plans out, like regardless if you're just testing it out, if it's a part of the whole scheme and how you're trying to build this thing out, and then also build a legacy for your boys, like you mentioned. And I think you gave a lot of people here some gems that they can take for themselves and how they can be able to build their own situation, whatever that looks like for them. And I think it's some very tangible things they can take away. And I appreciate you just being my brother, man, and staying locked in with me all these years. And it's phenomenal to be able to be in this space with you at the Podcast Summit And then also seeing how our journeys kind of
Came a long way from Schoolcraft.
Came a very long way from Schoolcraft. It came a very long way from the craft, man. Shout out to Schoolcraft all day.
Thanks.
But everybody listening, everybody watching, we're going to tap in with y'all soon. Peace.
Peace.